All right, hello, hello. Thank you for joining me. Sammy here. We are going to dive in deep today. So the hot topic is Astroworld. The question of the day is Travis Scott. Is he friends? Is he in bed with the devil? What's going on here? Let's dive deep. Let's find out. Let's get into this. All right, y'all. So the first name that I thought to compare this to was it's Astroworld Festival was an outdoor festival. There are many things that occur at outdoor festivals. They're quite entertaining. A lot of people love them. It's wonderful, okay? If nothing goes wrong. I compared to one experience that I had going through the concert scenario. It was the No Limit concert. Okay, if anyone remembers, I'm definitely telling my age at this point in time, but I was about 16 going to this No Limit concert. It was everything. I had a little date picking me up. It was there. It was good, right? We get to the concert. It was time for the concert to begin. They were like 2 hours late. Everyone was on edge. It was all the marijuana in the air. Y'all know how the concerts go. Y'all know, don't be acting like you don't. But with all that being said, when the music came on, it the beat dropped. Boom. It's not the real music, but it's the beginning music. Everybody's excited. The crowd goes crazy. We're all like, "Yeah, we're here. We're here." I had a nice little hiding thing to the concert. It was good. He happens to turn around, and the crowd is going crazy, 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 crazy. I mean, crazy, crazy. These people are fighting, they're pushing, they're storming. Next thing I know, it's a whole crowd rushing towards me. I said, "Oh my God." We were, I want to say the first 25 rows or something like that. We were fairly close to the stage. All I saw was people coming at me, and I turned around to run, and it was chairs falling in front of me. And all I saw was the floor coming at my face. It was nothing but floor. Floor and chairs coming at my face. And some random man, some nice man, picked me up and basically tossed me into the wall. I was so grateful. I appreciate it. It was wonderful. But I say this because these concert situations can get out of control really quickly. And it really doesn't matter the security or the measures that are taken. It's just a lot of people in one space, right? Now, I'm not saying that's what went on with Astroworld, but it does happen at concerts really regularly, okay? I remember hearing about it was one girl, she didn't get picked up tossed soon enough. And even though she did get picked up eventually, she had a broken leg. And they were waiting for an ambulance to come and get her because they couldn't move her. We were fortunate enough to be plastered on the wall. And then another guy got a door, an emergency door open, and we got out. That was the only thing that happened. Of course, the concert never went on because it went crazy before they even got started. But this example is to show how quickly that things get out of control and go sideways at these concerts. It doesn't matter who it is, and it honestly doesn't matter when it was or is because that's been happening for a long time. So I got interested to find out how often this has really happened after I thought about my No Limit experience. So I went digging, and I didn't look for rap or just hip hop. I kind of went to the other side of the field. I looked at some stats from Pearl Jam, from Guns N' Roses. Um, I, I just picked up names that I can remember. I even looked into Michael Jackson a little bit, a little Metallica. And it was, you know, that's what it was. Mhm. I just looked to see what I could see. It was no time frame in specificity, But I was interested to find out that how many times deaths occur at concerts. So let's dive in and I'll tell you what I found. And then I'm going to bring it back around and compare it to Astroworld and how I believe that these things are not necessarily attributed to the devil. Stay with me. Okay. So the first one I looked up was Pearl Jam. I looked into Pearl Jam in the year 2000. People magazine reported this one. It was 9 deaths at this concert. 8 died in a mosh pit. A week later, 43 were injured. Um, that goes to show it goes across the board. It's not just Astroworld. It's not just Travis Scott. Pearl Jam, it happened to them too. Now, another group that I looked into was Rolling Stone. They their big event happened in December of 1969. It was a free concert. In this concert, 4 people died. One was an 18-year-old girl. She was actually stabbed to death by one of the security detail that they hired, which was the Hells Angels. I don't know how far they run. I didn't look into them, but it sounds really shaky. Okay, and there's an entire book about it and they have been featured in a movie as well. So that Rolling Stone event was huge, and it kind of made a huge shift in the 70s because of when it happened in 1969. Another group that I looked into was Guns N' Roses. So Guns N' Roses, they performed at the Monsters Rock Festival in 1988. 2 people died. Okay, so they were involved in, I guess they were found dead after the festival. I can't recall exactly, but at that particular concert, Axl Rose, I guess he was a head group member. I'm not too familiar with Guns N' Roses, but he instructed the crowd, quote, don't effing kill each other, unquote, right? Don't kill each other? Really? Okay. All right. All right. And another concert that I looked into was it was a Metallica concert in 1991. This was Monsters of Rock, and it was in Washington State. There were 3 deaths. 2 people found at the bottom of a 20-foot drop after the concert. That's weird. And then there was also 51 deaths at their concert in Russia. If that is that true? I don't know. I didn't dive far enough, but it's just these things are associated with their concert. I also looked into what else did I look into? Oh, there was a Michigan International Speedway. This is the location they had a concert, and it was actually 4 deaths at this concert. It was reported by CBS News that it was 4 deaths, 3 from carbon monoxide exposure, and it was a total of 5 people exposed. So eventually, I think the fourth person passed a little later than the first 3. Um, but the fact is that there is a level of danger associated with masses of people when they all come together. Does that equate to the devil? Mm, I think we should stop it. No, I don't want to equate it to the devil. One other thing, another artist that I looked into was Michael Jackson. So he has a rumored statistic of 23 deaths floating around for one of his concerts. But Snopes is declaring that number to be false. They say that his fans only faint and points the finger back at Travis Scott. So it's really amazing to see that when things like this happen. Now, I'm not trying to make light of it at all because people did lose in the scenario and there were people's family lost and loved ones lost in this scenario. And I don't agree with that. But I will say that this is definitely not the first time that something like this has occurred. And we do have to keep in mind when we do allow ourselves to be present in these type of events, there is a chance that these that dangerous things can happen. I've gone to many concerts in my day, and with my participation, I'm always at a heightened awareness level. And that's mainly because of that feeling. I have not attended in quite some time. And I think the most recent one where I had an opportunity to go see Prince in my local area for it was one of his last performances, but for that particular time I was not feeling the general masses. I didn't wanna go sitting there like, "No, I'm not feeling people, I'm not gonna do that." But that was the last time I woulda had to see him, you know? So I was kinda disappointed that I didn't just suck it up and go. But at the same time, when you don't follow your gut about these things, sometimes bad things can happen. I'm not quite aware of the happenings of that concert, but I wouldn't say that it went so far as to people dying. But anywho, like I said before, there are associated risks with participating with these type of things. So back with speaking of Travis Scott, this particular event, there were many people present, and sad to say, there was a young boy involved, and he's actually um, in an induced coma, and that's so sad to hear. It's horrible, horrible to hear. But when do we, at some point, start to take responsibility for the choices in which we make? I'm not saying it's fair. Horrible things do happen. But when you're talking about masses and masses of people, even as a youngster, I was aware of that. And I was fortunately saved. I could have been one of those girls trampled at that point in time. But looking back, I see the direct effect that masses of people in small spaces looking forward to the same thing can have on them. How many times at these events do we experience drugs going around? We're still waiting on autopsies for some of these related deaths. If they were really trampled and they died being trampled, you can see a trampled death. You don't need a tox screen for that. You know, so it's really tough and it's a tough situation, but we can't blame this on a devil. Your devil, their devil, who's ever devil. You can't blame it on a devil. Why? Because people chose to run to the front. People chose to knock down barriers. People made these choices whether they were intoxicated or not. There was a possibility for a choice in this situation. And when it comes down to it, each individual made the choice of their actions. Is it fair? Is it right? No. Is it unfortunate for all those people that were injured and in essence lost their lives? It's not right. It's horrible. But at the same time, to sue, to blame it on the devil, to take it to a spiritual level when it's not even necessarily spiritual. These don't have anything to do. Yeah, his numbers might say one thing, but he was trying to make a paycheck too. He was trying to make a paycheck. Everyone there was trying to spend a paycheck. So it's definitely an unpopular opinion, but I'm definitely going to say that when do we begin to take personal responsibility and personal accountability for the decisions that we make. When do we begin that? When do we not necessarily blame what we experience on outside sources? This is your fault. Oh, this is, and then if it's not a person that's specific, it's the devil. Oh, it's the devil's fault. It's all you, not me. It's you. Even though I chose to be here, it's you. But when do we move beyond that? When do we grow? When do we see that we play a part in the experiences of our lives? When do we accept that sometimes the choices that we make might not be the best choices that we make? When do we accept that? Everyone accepts the great choices that we make. Oh, that was a wonderful choice. I couldn't have done anything else. I would never choose to do anything different. I loved it. The outcome was great. But when the outcome is not great, when do we stop pointing the finger? When do we stop doing that? It's really hard. It's a really, really hard pill to swallow. And I'm definitely not making light of the lives that were lost. But where's the accommodation? You can say security, but security's making a paycheck too. They only can do what they can do, and that's it. You can holler at the cameraman, but he's making his paycheck. He he can only do what he can only do. Now, if everyone else is running amok, we can only do what we can do until it calms down, until we are able to get more control over it, or speaking from the security's uh, point of view, until they can get a hold on it and smooth it out a little bit. This communication back and forth to the stage with the artist is probably not the fastest. I will definitely say it's definitely not something to depend on. Hey, you stop your show. People are dead. Excuse me? What did you sniff? Whoa. Or who says the artist is sober? Hmm, I mean, there are so many factors involved in a scenario like this. I just think the devil is far, extremely far from the subject matter. Please, people, get a hold on your devil thoughts, leave it where it is, stop it, come back, reel it in, reel it in. We made choices. We make choices every single day. You choose to get in your car and go to work, or you choose to get in your car and go grocery shopping, or you choose to get in your car and go to the gas station, or you choose to walk to the store, or you make a simple choice. And no matter what happens with that simple choice, it doesn't mean that the devil is at fault. Things happen, accidents exist, bad choices exist. It's just a conglomeration of many, many things at play, and we don't necessarily have control of them all. So, do I think suing Drake and suing Travis Scott is the greatest choice? I wasn't there, but outside looking in, it's like, should I sue No Limit for not being able to see the concert that I came to see? I mean, slippery slope, people. That's what we're looking at. But we do live in a sue happy society. So who knows? I mean, if you feel it's in your heart, yeah, go for it. I guess it's what the judicial system's made for. Don't let my grain of salt change your mind, but just accept that there are different viewpoints on it and understand that there are many many, many different aspects and many, many different um, things at play in this one scenario. Understand it's not just the devil, or it's not somebody's devil, whether you believe in the devil or not, because everyone there might not have necessarily believed in a devil. Hmm, how about that? Hmm. Does everyone there believe in God? Hmm, I doubt it. I doubt it. They weren't coming there for their Jesus, for their God. They weren't coming there for no devil. They came there for the music. They came there for his product, because that product didn't suit you. It does not make it the devil. Anywho, that was just my opinion on it. Let's just I feel like people need to take a step back. Take a step back. Take a breather. Breathe, y'all. Breathe. It is not always the devil. Please understand, it's not the devil. Please, please believe me. Just a thought. It's a thought for you to process. I'm sure many, many, many of you have experiences that would align with kind of shady concert practices, or negative concert practices, but I've had some really great concert concert experiences as well. So it's a of the coin, y'all. Anywho, do I think Travis is friends or in bed with the devil? No. Mm, but that's not my problem either. Mm-mm. It's not. My problem lies in if I'm going to choose to be present or not. That's where my problem lies. If I'm going to choose to be in the presence of that experience. And yeah, fortunately, um, unfortunately, people have not taken this into consideration. I hope that everyone can see a different side of the other side of the coin of where it landed, dealing with the Travis Scott Astroworld Festival. But and I also wish condolences to those people who lost. In the meantime, I am lost at a loss for words. It's never easy to lose someone. So my heart goes out to you all for healing, and to all other than that, I hope y'all wasn't sniffing and snorting and sipping and smoking, because that plays a key role as well. Anywho, thank you for joining me. I'm Sammy. I'll talk to you guys in another broadcast.